Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the homestead on this beginning of the Memorial Day weekend. We finally got some time out here where there's no rain going on. It rained a little bit last night, but today's been pretty good, so the rain has definitely gone away. So I figured we'd kind of do a bit of a garden tour. Last week was all the harvesting of the garlic, so this time we'll go through with all of the rain that we've gotten. Everything has grown up quite a bit. So let me turn you around and take you through and show you what's going on in the garden. I think somebody wants in. I'm pretty sure she's asking to come in. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Anyway, so we'll start here. This is the first bed. This is my Amaranth. Kind of came up sparsely. I overseed a lot of it. Plan here is to let one per square foot grow to full maturity and then harvest the rest of them for greens. So I'll pick them for greens when they get a little bit bigger. But you can see how big they're going. The backside over there is a little bit sparse. We had either got too much rain or a bunch of it didn't germinate, something to that effect, or I didn't probably planted way more seeds over here than I did over there. Anyway, so we'll kind of see how well this goes. So kind of up and close, that's kind of some of the bigger ones that we've got going. So that's the Amaranth. This is my first time growing Amaranth, and so we'll see how well this goes. And then this whole bed here are all zipper cream peas. That's a summertime pea. I got these all from Haas Tools. Planted the whole bed. Looks like everything has come up really well and is doing pretty good. We'll see how well that goes, but it's definitely come up quite a bit. Then this bed is my green bean bed. These here that are kind of got all the taller stuff. Now these are supposed to be bush beans, so I'm hoping that's actually what they are, otherwise I may be in trouble. But these are, I'm looking for the I can't read it now. These are Landreth bush beans over here. They don't have the same rising kind of stuff that looks like pole beans as these do. And then these guys here in the center are actually all Henderson, or actually they're all lima beans. I know these two, like here and there, are definitely Henderson lima beans. Actually, I guess those and those. These others were lima beans. I don't know that they were Henderson necessarily, but I had two kind of rows here that were blank, and so I went ahead and put the limas there. Took 4 packages of beans, of just regular seed packets to seed those out. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I haven't seen any flowers just yet on any of these, but they are definitely nice. They're better than what I was looking at last year, that's for sure. Of course, with all this rain, that's a whole nother thing. Now this bed, I've got okra and sunflowers. Look at the size of these sunflower plants. Nothing is coming up yet that's this one's coming close, looking like there might be a flower in there. No flowers have come up yet, but just look at the size of these leaves. These guys are huge. And then the okra over here, got a lot of that that's going. I'm sure it will not have a problem competing with the sunflower. Matter of fact, I'm kind of looking here. This is kind of weird. Now that's the sunflower, and that's an okra. And that actually looks like one of the larger okra plants that I've got, and it's getting shaded a bit by the sunflower plant. kind of interesting, and it's not been real hot yet. So far these guys are all looking real good. There should be a ton of okra coming up, and we'll see how much we get on the sunflowers and how big those heads are. But I'm definitely pleased with how well those guys are going. And then this is my first kind of tomato. I've got, these are tomatoes here. These are a variety called Aroma. They've got plenty of seeds on them. You can, on flowers on them rather, that you can see there. I haven't really bothered staking these up because they're not supposed to get real tall, being they're determinate. And I think I've grown these before. They put out one flush and then they're kind of done. But I've also had a couple of them die on me. Got this blank spot here and this blank spot over there. So these are not quite doing that well. I probably, just a note for the future, not grow these again in the future. And then over here we got basil all along here, and sunflowers, or not sunflower, marigolds rather. I'm working with sunflowers, but I went and yesterday harvested some basil, and I harvested over a pound of basil leaves. So my wife's supposed to be making quite a bit of pesto. And then here I've got, these are my eggplants, and those guys are actually looking pretty good as well. They're all doing well, so we'll see how well that goes as we go. And then this is my sweet pepper bed. So we got some rain and stuff, which I think kind of threw some stuff down in there, but I'm looking for, I know I thought I had seen some peppers actually forming earlier. Not seeing, I see lots of flowers in there. These may not be forming peppers just yet, but these are a couple of different varieties here. There's a lot of Cubanellas. There's some Big Bertha bells. That's primarily what those are. And then these here are stevia. Harvested a bunch of that the other day, and actually I tried. If you're following me along on seed saving, I made some cuttings of those and tried to put them out, and yeah, that was a major failure. Don't do what I did on that video. I'm going to try it again at a different time and see how well it works doing it, just kind of putting them in water. But I tried putting them straight in the ground, and yeah, that didn't work real well. And then these peppers here, starting to get some flowers. Looks like maybe a little pepper there. So these guys are doing pretty good. Kind of looking on this side here, I don't see any right offhand. Got a couple of good flowers in there, and no peppers really forming. And then this bed's my next tomato bed. We go over there again. We got the marigolds, we got the basil. These zinnias, yeah, those aren't really doing so hot. I've already yanked out a few of them as it is. I will probably yank those out too. I'm not liking the way those are looking. And I gotta start picking some of these marigold flowers also. And in here, this is one thing I've not shown you guys before. I planted some tomatillo seeds. I couldn't find any that are coming up. I got one there, got one there, one there, and then that's my biggest one that's happening right there. So those are tomatillos that have sprouted and are coming up. And then these are my other, these are still a Roma tomato. Matter of fact, I know I've seen some tomatoes on here. I'm kind of looking in here to see. I know I've seen some, so we'll kind of take a look here in a minute. We'll kind of take a look, pull the tag out here. So these are called marriage, yeah, however you pronounce that one, I'm not sure right offhand. But these are definitely doing a bit better. I know I've seen a tomato on here. I kind of wanted to show that. Again, these are supposed to be a determinant, but they're definitely bigger than the other ones, than the Laromas over there. And they're kind of sprawling a bit. I'm trying to decide whether I want to put some kind of trellising up or just kind of let them sprawl. There's one, I don't know if you can see that down in there. One little tomato starting there. I know I saw some in there, I just don't see them right offhand. Watch, next time I come over here, they'll be obvious, like hit me right in the face. Ah, there we are. Let me see if I can. Yeah, a couple of them coming up right there. First tomatoes of the year. They're starting to form. So these guys are definitely starting to form tomatoes and put on some fruit. And here is my hot pepper bed. So this first row here has definitely got quite a few flowers and stuff on it. These are all mammoth jalapenos along there. I don't see any peppers necessarily showing up there yet. And then this second row, which they're kind of short, they're a little bit different. They're kind of a yellow colored jalapeno. And then the closer one here, these are all poblano peppers, and this one's actually got some peppers actually starting to form. I've got 3 or 4 on that one plant already. I know I've seen these in the past. I don't know what that was all about. The birds all got excited all of a sudden. Like he's kind of getting everybody in line. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so let's see what happens. What are you going to do with birds, right? And then, anyway, back to here. So these are my poblanos, this first row here. And then here I do need to get some trellising up on this weekend. These are all a pickling cucumber. Kind of a Boston pickling. And those have sprouted since the last time I did this and have come up. And this is my chamomile. I've never grown chamomile before, so I think I need to start harvesting some flowers. And that one is flat out loaded. They haven't come on yet, but you can kind of see all the buds and stuff on them where they're going to start coming on. They've got a few there coming up there, and then this one's obviously got a ton of flowers already on there, so I need to come harvest some of those. And then the biggest thing, remember those few squash plants I had? Well, they have flat out taken over the entire bed and have just flat out, I swear, they've grown exponentially over the last few days. They're just flat out covering this entire bed. That tomato plant may have an issue, along with, you know, a couple of these guys over here as well. So we'll kind of see there. It might actually end up. So that is a celery plant. My wife had thrown a celery thing in the compost, and it sprouted. So I was like, let's put it in here. I wasn't expecting this. This is huge. And of course, this one zucchini plant here. I know there's some. There's a zucchini down in there. I know there's a couple of zucchinis on here. And my yellow squash plant over here has got a couple of yellow squashes going in there as well. But yeah, this guy is definitely huge. He's outrunning the bed. I'm gonna have to figure out something to trellis him. I wasn't expecting anything quite that large. And this is my main seed. I'm calling my seed garden, with the rutabaga going to seed, the carrots going to seed. I think my snow peas are about done there, but I will pull them up when I get everything else done. Oh, I do also, there's one dill that kind of showed up here. He's doing pretty good. I don't know if I can transplant him and put him in a little bit better spot or not, but I'll probably just let him go. But you can definitely see, and I do this on Seed Saving Wednesdays, the differences in the carrot flowers from petals to full-on seeds being formed. Especially, I think this is a better one. You can see all the seeds actually there. These guys just need to dry out a bit. Here's a big one here. So those guys just need to kind of mature, ripen, and dry out. I do still have a few watermelon radishes in here. They're getting pretty close to being ready to be harvested. I've picked a few earlier in the week, or last week maybe, that were pretty good sized. I think my wife's going to cook them up this weekend, kind of roast them, kind of give you an idea of some of the seed pods. For all of a sudden I've got the sun that's like brighter than anything. All these seed pods are showing up on the rutabagas. Matter of fact, I think some of these down here are actually kind of starting to dry out a bit. We'll kind of see how well those go there. So hopefully I can harvest a bunch of rutabaga seeds. And over here, I'm trying to maybe put the sun to my back. Those are all carrot seeds, or carrots flowering. So I'm going to try a couple of different things to try to make sure I harvest those seeds, and I'll kind of do that on Seed Saving Wednesdays. And then over here's my beet seeds that I'm saving now. What's amazing here is the fragrance from the beet seeds. Those, I caught that the other day, and they are actually, it's kind of a pretty sweet smell that comes from them. So there's quite a few seeds coming up from the beets as well. I've got a few radishes in here that I threw in, and kind of see if they're going to make any size and get those out of here. And then we obviously harvested the garlic last week. The wheat's done, and I think the birds got to that before I could do anything with it. These red onions I need to go ahead and pick, because ends up being that they're actually a long day onion, so I need to get them out of here. And then we got the onions that have seeded, that have gone to flower. Kind of give them a little bit of time there to actually, their seeds need to mature, and they need to dry out. So some of this over here is just a waiting game at this point. but should have enough flowers and stuff, or enough seeds harvested from all of this to definitely produce and grow enough food for next year. So kind of give you another quick tour of the garden. This is one of those, all of a sudden the sun came out and it totally changed how everything's going here. So you kind of see the sunflowers and the okra there. So this is going pretty well. Not pretty interesting. I like having dogs that don't bother the birds at all. Neither one of them care that the other one's there. I like that. So that's the garden tour for this week. Still can't believe how big that squash is. That is just absolutely enormous. And how well everything else is going. So I can't complain right now. Of course, the grass is growing like crazy too. The yard needs to be mowed. I gotta get that cut down. So follow along. We'll see how well some of this goes, and hopefully some of the success maintained. So have a great Memorial Day. Remember, say thank you to the veteran. Thank him for his service. Remember those who have gone on ahead. Remember, that's what this is remembering, is those who have died in our country's service. So God bless. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And we'll see you on the next video.